Billy, you know something. What is it?
I'm scared, Pancho.
Bullshit. You ain't afraid of no man.
There's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man.
What's up, cool kids? I hope you got your smokes, you grabbed your floats, you keep your ropes and your gropes while standing on a slope beside a moat holding totes. You told your folks some jokes, but you made sure you mentioned to consult with your host, Woke Goat, bearer of notes. I appreciate you coming out and listening. Straight up, straight up. Make sure you tell everybody to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Talk about it at work, at church, and anywhere else you want. Just be a jerk. Make sure everybody knows to listen to Woke Goat. Now let's do what we do best and be weird and kooky and creepy and spooky. And let's get in this thing, all right?
You're chocolate chip Charlie.
Well, I sure as hell ain't the Kentucky Colonel. Get off of me.
That's right, cool kids. As my personal hero, Beetlejuice, would say, it's showtime. What's happening? I hope you're doing well, whether it's morning, night, afternoon, evening, whatever. I hope this hits your eardrums and you are well. If not, then I hope you're doing better by the time we're done. So on that note, what's happening? How you doing? I hope Christmas and all that is treating you well. Hopefully you got the last episode. If not, then get that to listen to. Definitely talked a little bit about some holiday-ish stuff on there. So I figured I'd wing it this episode. Everything's everywhere right now. Everybody's so busy, so I figured I'd just talk about something a little off topic. Like the things that we were afraid of or convinced ourselves we were afraid of as children, or the things that we later on developed fear of as adults and young adults. Like I was not afraid of the dark. I was not that kid. But I had like other little weird things. Like I was an action figure kid. I had every action figure. Every action figure. I would have my little scenes, my scenarios, my villain arcs, all that, all day, every day. But at night, yeah. So I usually they're either on display or in the middle of a scene if I set them up. I could not wake up and see all those little plastic eyes facing me and looking at me. That was terrifying. That scared me. So I had to turn them all in a different direction or just put them all up. That was just one of them things to me. Like walking around middle of the night just doesn't bother me. Going up and down the stairs, the basement, the den, the attic, whatever, that just doesn't, whatever. But that, yeah. Imagine, you're chilling right now, grown man. You wake up, it's 2 a.m, you're thirsty, of course, thirsty. Gotta use the bathroom, of course. And you look up, and all your Funko Pops are just lined up in front of your TV, just watching you sleep. But you keep your Funko Pops by your PC on the shelf, and they're not over there. That's that's the kind of thing that would terrify me. Another thing that used to get under my skin, if you were to leave your baby around me, like children, yeah, spooky, terrifying. Babies, oh my God, you couldn't. I had an irrational fear that a room full of babies or a single baby, as soon as an adult would leave, would walk over or crawl or wobble, whatever, the baby shuffle, the toddler tiptoe, whatever you want to call it, and pinch me. They can't bite you, they don't have teeth, but pinch me and just stare at me and slobber on me and pinch me. It was terrifying. Dude, I was afraid of a lot of stuff as a kid. I'm over it now as an adult, but that was one of the top three for me. Now as an adult, it's like being on a swing or jumping on a trampoline, that fall feeling when your stomach goes into your ears, that gets me. That gets me now. Um, Being on water is one big thing to me. Like the ocean's terrifying by itself, but at night, in the middle of the darkness, in the middle of nowhere, no, I can't do that. No, we can't do that. Terrifying. If I had to do a would you rather, I would rather crash in a plane than sink on a boat, ship, carrier, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I'm sorry. That is not for me. My ancestors will back it up. I promise you. But standing beside something that makes me feel really tiny is also another thing that scares me. Speaking of ships, like if I'm standing beside a carrier or a cruise ship or something, oh man, anxiety. Oh, put me beside a whale. Oh, I'm done. I'm done. Blah, done. Just saying, it's little rational things. Some people think, you know, going to sleep with their porch light or something. That's a comforting thing. Like I wasn't a nightlight kid. I kept my closet door closed, although I had nights I would wake up and it was open, and my little ass would just get up and go close it again and run back to my bed. Like, oh well. But to this day, you may or may not keep your closet closed because it's something you've seen or witnessed, or some just don't sit right with you. The energy of your residence and wherever you sleep and wherever you're at, it tells, man. You could be at a buddy's house and everything's all cool and honky dory, having a good old time. But you can go back to that buddy's house and spend a night one weekend, and it just don't feel like that. Like all of a sudden, the same little place we hang out and have our little clubhouse with during the daytime is a Creep Factory on Spooky Street. I can't. No, we're not going downstairs in the basement right now. We can play the game up here. That kind of stuff. That will stick with some people until they're adults, and possibly pass it down through genetic memory to their children. So don't hide under the covers, because that never protects you anyway. I sleep with my foot hanging out over the bed. I hope you do too. But if you don't be afraid of something just wants to give you a little tickle.
He who walks behind the rose will decide your fate.
Don't just sit there. Seize him, punish him, cut him down, I command you. I am the word and the giver of his laws. Disobedience to me is disobedience to him. Do it now, or your punishment shall be 1,000 times, 1,000 deaths, each more horrible than the last.
They are tired of your talk, Isaac. I've shown them what I can do. Cut the woman down. Put Isaac in her place.
So speaking of scary, I don't know if you know this, but Elon Musk used Neuralink to upload his consciousness a while back. And I don't know if you quite grasp the depth of like what that could actually do. But consequence is definitely part of that action. There's no way the inventor of the freaking robot army that's not even active yet uploads his mind. Like, dude, you gave everything away. You gave away the keys to the kingdom. Every blueprint, every thought, every doubt, every flaw that you know about. Everything. Everything. Even on like a subconscious level. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't do that. There's certain things you don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? Rule number 1, you know what I'm saying? What's the first rule of Fight Club? There is no Fight Club. What's the second rule of Fight Club? There is no Fight Club. Like, bro, everybody thinks it's gonna be cute and like, Big Hero 6 and Chappie and stuff. Like, nah, bro. I grew up watching Skynet. It's scary. These military bots, and like I heard some statistic the other day that was like it's over 50% as far as the drone strikes that's going on right now, like modern warfare. Unmanned drones and stuff is usually the cheapest and most occurring. So My dude, it's nothing to have a flamethrower in the air now, and it's nothing to have a dog that can, you know, drive at 30 miles and plus, per hour and have a flamethrower mounted gun on its back. Yeah, Skynet, bro. The last thing you want to do is have the network know everything, especially its flaws, its backdoors, its overrides, and like that's scary. Think about that next time you let your Tesla drive you to work, because you just might be late. But seriously though, everybody's all caught up on this shooter. Oh, the shooter, Luigi. I've seen so many. I've seen posts with people freaking photoshopping him in the background, of course, saying like, he's here. I've seen posts saying, how much of a great guy he is, and he helped, unload groceries and helped getting out of trees and stuff. Then I've seen posts saying that he shot old buddy because old buddy was a pedophile. Then I've seen posts saying that he shot old buddy because he was gay and was denied coverage for a sex change operation. Either way, that's a little too watch the birdie mainstream media for me to get my hands dirty with. So, I'm just a chill guy, like the meme that's also being passed around. I'd rather be on that side of the fence than the other one. Because right now, that's not really what you want to concern yourself with at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even about to go there. You might want to be more concerned with stuff like, at one point in time, Starbucks had a caramel color and it was made from ammonia, and they finally, got rid of that. But that was only in the U.S., by the way. Only in the U.S. Also, another little tidbit about the U.S. The first solar panels in the United States were installed in New York in 1884. You think we're utilizing that technology, huh? Like, why doesn't your phone charge itself? Why can't we leave our phones in the sun and they just charge themselves? You know why? Because you wouldn't have to pay 20 plus bucks for that charger, buddy. And they don't even give you the base to it anymore. Because they're getting off like that. Because they know if you have to buy it, you will. Bing bong. Like flashlights. You got emergency flashlights, right? It's got a whole crank on the side. Kinetic energy. Bing bong. Boom. You're charged. You get at least 3-4 hours worth of flashlight. Why is that not on your phone? Because if they designed you something that they wouldn't have to resell you, you'd never buy another one. It's like being a doctor. It's like being a used car salesman. Like, dude, if I gave you a pill and it was like, all right, you're cured. You never have to see me again. You're good to go. I would put myself out of my own job. So why do you think all the pills they give you have side effects? Because the ones that have side effects aren't placebo pills. I'm the type of person who only gets sick once or twice a year because I convince myself I am never sick, period. It's the sniffles. Otherwise, I drink and I wrap up in a blanket and, yeah, we know how it goes from there. But still, don't fall for it, man. Do not fall for it. Please don't. Don't do it. Like, farmers don't even own their own seeds. Like, we can kind of control what we're eating, but like, farmers can't replant their own seeds. They have the right to plant their seeds, but they don't grow stuff with seeds. They have to own the rights to the genetics, because half the shit we're eating now is genetically modified. Like, little known fact, broccoli is a genetically modified version of cabbage. Broccoli is not naturally occurring. And they really, really, really want you to eat your damn broccoli. It's Kind of weird, huh? Think about that. The next time you get you some broccoli and cheese.
Hell is overflowing, and Satan is sending his dead to us. Why? When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
This world is full of the unknown and a lot of what ifs. So, yeah, edgy questions. What would it take for you to eat a person? That's bold, right? Well, a lot of people have had to do this, being stranded upon mountaintops, snowtops, and, you know, in Native American folklore, if you eat enough people, you become a Wendigo. In Hollywood, you got people like Chrissy Teigen. That's like, yeah, she'd try it if it was on the menu. I've heard human flesh is the most addictive thing. Human meat is the most addictive thing. It's more addictive than drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, that whole thing. I've heard. Me personally, I barely like bone in my meat, so I'm good. I'm good on all that. I'm like a sausage, burger, taco type guy. Like, I'm good on the ribs and stuff. You can keep that. I'd rather have a bowl of cereal. But seriously, like, it's a bunch of weird stuff popping up nowadays. Like, I saw that little interview with her. I saw videos of robotic flies and drones that people have been killing. And once investigated up close, it's clearly not a regular fly or a drone. I've seen it. Do I believe it? I don't know. I'm putting it out on the table for you to also be a skeptic of and do your own research as well. Hell, little thing I just heard about. Roswell. Everybody knows Roswell. But did you know the Roswell crash had Greek writing on it? Did you know that chemtrails are now naturally occurring in the almanac? They updated it for that. Did you know incandescent bulbs are now illegal in the U.S.? But Edison bulbs are not because they have LED filaments. But still, interesting, right? It's even more interesting is people that can disappear in thin air and still not be found in places where cameras are or shut down. Interesting is how many people go missing a year in national parks and, reservations and stuff. We'll get on that another time. But another interesting thing is every Capitol building looks the same. What else looks interesting is the U.S. nuclear test videos. Any of y'all think that was faked? You know how we used to take little tiny models back in the day during our films and make the film? Well, I've heard that those things was basically the same thing because the cameras didn't shake. They didn't move. There was no radiation damage done to the film. That's kind of hard to pull off, especially back then. But I'm just being a skeptic. Just being a skeptic. Like the people that say 300 years have been fabricated. I'm just being a skeptic. Like the same people that, say, they paint over pictures, which they do. They paint over old pictures. They cover up a lot of stuff. Just like the World's Fair covered up all the other pieces of the Capitol buildings that aren't there anymore. Old world, man. Antiquitech. The remnants of Tartaria and all of that jazz. Post-reset is what we are. Pre-reset is what that was. I don't know if it was mud flood or not, but something went down. Something went down. And we found some of it. The rest of it is probably still buried or has been destroyed. Straight up. But that's neither here nor there. Because what happens if you find some ancient building and it's like, oh yeah, it's cool. All you do, you just end up being another person on TikTok or another person on Facebook. And the way AI and these people are trying to fake everything just for a little bit of clout and all that, like, it's a very real possibility you just get thrown into the mix and just, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, hey, Lunchables. They're allowed on every school menu. They got metal hormone inhibitors and stuff. Like, they got lead in them. Nobody cares. It's just something people talk about. I'm trying to give you something to talk about over coffee. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you something to mention at the person in line behind you or at the restaurant, just so you can get a little cool points. Get that little bit of weirdness in the atmosphere for all of us that appreciate it. So whether your ass believes in reincarnation or you don't believe in ghosts and demons and you think it's multi-dimensional beings, and I'm all here for it. But at the end of the day, we're all here together looking at the only two things we can look at. Some of us can't even do that. So the whole brain in a jar concept intrigues me. How do we know we're actually here? How do you know you're actually there? Whether you're driving, you're walking, you're chilling, you're working, you're scratching your head, you're rubbing your nose, like, how do you know? We only know and confirm our existence based off of others. I think that's why some of us crave it so much. The attention, the cosign. Heck, I'm an Eagles fan. I got a Jalen Hurts jersey right now. Kelly Green. Well, how do I know this is a Kelly Green jersey? If another person tells me it's also green. Outside of my own perspective and perception, that's the only way I can confirm it. I can look at it. I can't smell the color green. You take the right amount of enhancements, you can see it. The pattern and all that. Yeah. But we literally have to confirm. I think that's why we have saying, like, hey, you see this? Are you seeing this? We have to sometimes. So what happens when 5 people see a shadowy figure walking up and down the hallway and witness motion sensor lights going off in places there's no motion in or around? Well, if it doesn't march to the beat of the drum, it can be tossed out the window and called a shared delusion. But we have tinfoil hats for that, isn't that right? Cool kids.
He wants you too, Malachi. He wants you too.
So I'm curious to know if anybody in my audience believes in cryptids. I'm sure it's at least 2 of y'all that believe in Bigfoot. You got some stuff out there. I don't know if the Loch Ness Monster is a thing to you, but I believe in stuff like the Mothman. I do. I believe we had dragons. I believe we have, like, the Kraken and stuff, because have you gone all the way down there? Have you seen the size of some of the things that come out the ocean? Heck yeah. I totally believe in some of these things. Now, you got stuff that's like probably like an escaped tiger or panther from like a circus, or the more realistic answer would be some big ass cougar or something, because mountain lions are everywhere. Bobcats are too most of the time. But when it comes down to leaving holes in the side of goat necks and draining all the blood and all that, that don't sound like a mammal that eats meat or hunts for sport, you know? So you kind of got to look at it to a degree. Like, say And let's just say, Chupacabra, El Chupacabra. Say it's real. To me, I would imagine some spaceship came down and hopped out to let their dog use the bathroom, and he just runs off. And they call for him, they look for him, they call for him, they look for him, and no. Or I also like to imagine maybe at some point they use them like scouts, like a wolf pack. Just let them loose, and every once in a while they'll come back and you gather data, or y'all share some kind of collective hive mind or something. That's believable to me. Some lizard creature thing. It looks like a scaly dog wolf thing with spikes on his back, and I can believe that. The Mothman, that's a whole nother level right there, because that falls into like the pink lady, the gray lady type thing, like the kind of ghosts that show up at a beach before a hurricane hits, or the type of ghost you'll see walk across a bridge before the bridge collapses type thing. That's what I think the Mothman categorizes under. It's more of a creature or an entity there to warn you about something coming. And if you know the history of the Mothman, that's exactly what it do. And all of these, to me, are not all cryptids. I mean, look at the Flatwoods monster story. The damn thing lands in a spaceship, comes flying out of it looking all reptilian with a suit on, and that's not a cryptid. But not all cryptids are cryptids. Think about it like this. Maybe, just maybe, some of these are interdimensional beings. Maybe, just maybe, some of these are just things from the old world. Mutants that we created. Things that we might have genetically modified or altered. But some of them are just damn good stories. And if you have any damn good stories, be it creepy, spooky, or kooky, as long as it's odd, send it to Woke Goats Notes, and we'll sit around and hear about it like it's the Midnight Society. Email me at ican'tgetscared@gmail.com, and stay tuned in for the next episode of Woke Goats Notes.